As you can see, we are dressed a little more fancier than we normally are, and unfortunately that is because we've had a death in the family. The death of the family is, unfortunately, our house.
This house is the death.
We did, side note, actually have a funeral to attend.
Yeah,
We just came from a funeral. It was a coworker.
Yeah.
However, this figured while we were dressed up, we might as well come and talk about our
own
next project and where we're at, and our own personal
death in the family. So we started this project out. This is where we were going to live. This is the house. This is the videos you've been seeing. Everything we post, from the cabinets to the insulation to the rock that started this whole foundation, started as our home. And
we bought this property August 27th of last year, and we broke ground shortly after, a couple weeks after, with the full intent of building our very first home. And that's what we've done. We have built our very first home. However, mid stages, the first time was when it was just studs. We had someone come in and look around and want to buy it. And unfortunately, it wasn't for sale, because in my mind, this was our house together. This was going to be our first actual home together, and there was no reason to sell it. So he kind of toyed around with the idea with our realtor and contractor. And I was like, no, I don't want to sell it. We're not selling it, yada, yada. Well, after we were kind of informed on what we could receive out of this house, it became more of a different conversation. It still wasn't something I was all for, but it was something that I was considering. And since then, we've had 3 people interested in it before for sale sign was actually put in the yard. And technically, there's still no for sale sign in the yard.
Let me just tell you how this went. There was a day standing in this driveway when it was gravel, talking to the contractor, and he comes to me with his phone, and he goes, I think I could say if I sold this house, I think I could sell it for this. And he turned his phone around to me. Well, that just got my mind working. So, and then it came down to something else presented itself to us that almost couldn't pass that up. So we talked about it a little bit. Basically, the ride home, we talked about it. We talked about it a little that night, and we were like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Let's put it out there. If we get what we think we can get off of it, then we'll sell it. So we had 3 people in a weekend all come look at it. Wasn't listed, wasn't anything. One of them wanted to buy it, and then he backs out. So once he backed out, we were like, well, maybe we should just keep it.
Well, with that one, we had the contract drawn up.
Yeah, we had it drawn. He just didn't sign it. And then it came down to, do we keep it? And we thought, well, you know what? Let's just list it. Let's list it. We'll put it on the market for a couple weeks.
We were still going to live in it. The intent was we were going to list it more so just for the fun of it, to see how many bites we could get, or if we could get any bites with the price that it was listed at. And at the end of the day, we discussed it, and we're like, if we don't sell it, it's a win-win. If we sell it, great, okay. If we don't sell it, we still live in it. It's still our home. We don't have to sell it.
Because that just put us to, what could you get out of it? You know, what could you possibly receive out of this house? So we listed it. It went live on Friday. The realtor called me on Saturday.
We were out of town.
We were out of town.
Soccer.
And it was, hey, got somebody interested in the house. Going to go show it to them today and meeting them in 20 minutes. Okay, cool. Let me know how it goes.
Again, we still didn't think at this point that it was going to lead to anything, because there's already been a couple others interested in it. And again, it didn't lead to anything.
So it was, okay, cool. Let me know how that goes. So I called him later that night when we were sitting around not doing anything. I asked him, I said, so how did it go? And he said, I think it went pretty well. You know, he kind of ran me through all of it, told me who it was. And he said, well, she's supposed to let us know on Monday. They're going to let us know on Monday. Monday rolls around. He sends me an email, and it's basically a contract to sign, where she didn't haggle. She didn't nothing. She gave us what was on the list price.
Actually, she was giving us full listing price.
Yeah, she was giving full listing price for it, and it took us 3 days to sell this house. So, title of the thumbnail of this video, there's a death in the family. This is the death in the family. Now, granted, the outside of this house looks just like we wanted it to, minus a few little things that we still have to do. Garage door's not in yet, but all this is everything that we picked. People thought we were crazy. If you see the bone, that's bone. That's not white. People thought we were crazy for putting that bone up there.
It may look white on the camera.
Yeah.
It's more so that you have to be in person to kind of see it. Bone color is more of like a cream and an ivory mix. It just kind of offsets the darkness of the house. Kind of gives it something, a little bit of life back in it, because if you know me, you know that black is my soul color. So if it was, you know, if it was how I wanted it to be and everything worked out the way it was supposed to, I would have had a full black house. But I decided not to go that route. I decided to add a little bit of color to it. And my happy medium is actually Ash picked it out, and the siding of the color is called Smoky Ash. And I think that's another reason, we'll kind of get into it too, but I think that's another reason why I'm just still mourning this house, because there are certain things that we specifically picked out that were meaningful to us in regards to this house that is now no longer that we can share. But again, the smoky ash, to you guys it means nothing, but to us it means something because Ash is his name. So it was like little details like that is what made this house ours. But again, it is what it is. It's okay. God has a bigger and better plan, and we're all for it. We are just rolling with the punches. And I know that there's better things coming our way sooner than later.
So basically what it boiled down to was we were presented the opportunity, and the neighborhood that I'm standing in right now is a beautiful neighborhood. It's the park in our area. There's a big park right here. We're living right next to the park.
You've got every school.
You've got every school.
Middle school, elementary, high school.
Most people, and the parkway is less than half a mile that way. Most people work a couple of miles down the road. Hit the parkway, you're at work. I hit the parkway, I go back to Mayfield, I'm at work. So it was kind of everything we wanted it to be in this neighborhood. So it kind of presented itself that we bought this lot because these were the lots in the neighborhood that were the nicest. There's two more right here next to us, but they've been here for years. We just gave them what they wanted for it, you know. Because I mean, in today's time, we came in, we went down. They wanted 35 for them.
We went down, and then we ended up they counter offered us, and then we went back and we kind of met in the middle and we agreed on a price.
So we got it. So needless to say, we got it a little bit cheaper. But what I'm trying to get at is, from here to our next adventure is less than a football field away.
Like standing right here, I can see, I'm a little short and I can kind of see over the hill, but I can see our property, which is fine. We're still in the same neighborhood, and that's exactly what I wanted.
It's actually a really nice piece of property.
It's actually nicer than this property.
Yeah. So it came down to that. So when we were presented that piece of property, which I'll probably put like a little aerial photo of it, you know, kind of in the video right here. But when we were presented that, it was, well, we could sell this house, I could buy that property, and we'll just have to do it again. You know, and not to mention, yeah, there's things in this house that we put into this house that we really like, but there's also things that we did or have been done or that need a do-over. You know what I mean? Like we've
definitely learned from
there's nothing wrong with it. This house is perfect. There's nothing wrong with this house. It's just things that we've learned that we were like, we could do that a little bit different next time.
It's perfect for the buyer. Let's say that. It's not perfect for us.
No. The inside is not how we did it. So when you see the inside of this house, this is not what we picked. Okay. Now the floor plan, the layout, all that stuff is what we picked. But the colors,
it's the cosmetics.
The colors we didn't pick. We didn't pick the trim. Because once she decided to buy it, she came in, she picked the tiles, she picked the trim, she picked the flooring, she did all that stuff. Because I mean, if you walked in it and it was gonna be our house, the trim probably would have been black. The showers were gonna be black. I mean, it's just. But we're also learning too that if you want to sell homes, not a lot of people like black. I don't know why, but they just don't want black.
Well, they do,
house.
But we have to keep in mind our buyer is older, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know how the older generation is. They're set in their ways. They want the old school, 1990s, 1980s look. They don't know what modern and classy, and they just don't know the vision of a 2025 home. So it's like they have a 2025 home on the outside, and on the inside they do too, but the colors and little cosmetic details kind of set it back a little further than.
It's just not what we would pick. But again, it still looks good. I mean, it's just not what we would have picked. But granted, now if we decide in the future we want to build houses and just sell them, it may look a lot like that.
Which that is something that we've talked about. That's something that we're trying to get our foot in the door with doing, which helps doing, this is our first one, and it helps kind of knowing the pros and cons and what we would do the same and what we would change in the future. Just because, when we have talked about buying lots and building spec homes and turning around and reselling them just as like a side job, we know now, already having one under our belt, where to kind of go from here, which is going to help us in the future as well.
Yeah. So, come along with us on our next big adventure. And yes, as the thumbnail says, there was a death in the family. And it is hard for some of us to let it go. And I understand why it's hard for her to let it go. For me, it was a house. I like the house. I like the colors that she picked. Honestly, if I'm a little biased, but this color scheme and everything to this house, probably one of the prettiest houses I've seen. And if people thought we were crazy to put the bone there, I mean, people thought we were crazy to do the black. But it's a beautiful house. I mean, the colors are beautiful. Everything about it is beautiful. And she picked all that. So that's what's hard for me. Because she put a lot into this house. So I understand all that. But she's getting another one that she can put all that into and have that one. There's things in this house that we had to kind of settle with. And now that we're doing it again, we get to, okay, I want to do this different, that kind of situation. But anyway, y'all want to check the house out? Maybe?
Come on, let's go.
See what the inside looks like.
Welcome, YouTubers. This is our crib.
Was our crib.
Well, technically, again, it still is until like 2 more weeks. So once you enter here, you have our foyer that is leading into the kitchen and living room. This floor plan is 100% open. So this is where the kitchen setup would be. You've got an island that'll be here, fridge, upper and lower cabinets. And then obviously you can see that the new appliances have been delivered. We just cannot set them yet because they're waiting on us to get the cabinets done.
I don't know who they're waiting on for that, but that guy needs his ass kicked. So you got, I don't know if you can see my finger, fridge, and then right here stove. You got cabinet, and then in the island sink.
You have a sink. And now initially when we, it may echo, so I probably need to tone it down a little bit. Initially when we did this design of this kitchen, the island is going to be the same, but we had a pull-out drawer as like a microwave drawer, and that was going to be in the island along with the dishwasher and the sink. The lady buying the house does not want that, and that's fine. We had to kind of go back to the drawing board and fix that cabinet because it was already made for the microwave. But then here, you're going to see this cord here, and this is where our hood, our vent is going to go. It's going to go up over the stove. And initially we were going to do electric. She changed that and wanted to do gas, which is why you're seeing all these up here. They had to go back in. The gas company had to go back in and drill holes for the new.
Yeah, they had to run a gas line.
Right.
Yeah.
And then here is going to be a pot filler. It's just something extra to have, but I do a lot of like mac and cheese and noodle cooking and things like that. So it's just nice to have a water spout here versus transferring back and forth. Again, the lady buying the house has already made comments to us that she's not a cook, which is fine, but this was already here. We're not taking it out. If you use it, great. If you don't use it, that's fine too.
That's always a selling feature too, guys, like for houses.
So then over here you have the dining area, which is what ours was going to be. I don't know what she's going to have it, but this was going to be where our dining room table was going to be. And then you have the nice 3-bay window here. And then here we have our living room with our fireplace. So the color scheme that you're seeing right now, the light gray with the black, this is actually called iron ore, was our color scheme that we picked. As you can see, half of it is white now because she does not want the black, and that's fine. So the painters came back in and is going to kind of redo all of that there. And then we have our fireplace.
Yeah, and we were doing the iron ore here too, guys, because if you think about it, that fireplace would have blended right in.
Like we had a black TV or black fireplace. It was all just kind of melt into one. And that's okay. That's fine. But just know for our future home, the color schemes will probably be the same.
Freak you out.
Same with like our bedroom and Ethan's bedroom. We all have accent walls. Leggy does too. Our bedroom and Ethan's bedroom was also this iron ore color that was in his room. Leggy's accent wall is like a pink color. But then also for us, what was going to set it off was this fireplace mantle was going to tie into our cabinets. Our cabinets were going to be that iron ore color. So it was going to be just really clean and sleek feel in here, which is why we were going to kind of tie the two together. But this is the living room. And then I guess we can go back up here to Sissy's room.
We'll go with the kids.
And then here you have the entrance to the garage. Again, it's not completely finished, but that's the entrance to the garage.
Okay. The garage is pretty close.
One good thing about this house too that they didn't change, and I think another reason why it's such a big selling point is this entire house is pretty much zero entry. So if you're like handicapped or you have crutches or maybe you're older like this lady and stairs just scare you because you fall on them all the time, this was kind of just where they were at with the whole zero entry.
Look here, guys. Look, I can show you. So just from the front, that's the only step you got. See I can go out here.
And even then, it's maybe an inch, 2 inches at the most.
Because you go down.
You can see like here. Yeah. That's all the step that you have.
Because when you come out here to the driveway, there's no step off the driveway. The sidewalk is even. The driveway comes right to the porch. You're just walking right in. So anyway, so the house that was a big thing for the house, was zero entry.
So also, as you can see, the flooring is that grayish marble look. Unfortunately, this is like just snapped together laminate flooring.
That's what she wanted.
And that's what the lady wanted. Now for our flooring, what we were going to do is basically it looks the exact same. But we were going to keep the solid concrete slab throughout. And we were going to add a little bit of that iron ore, like the marble look, into the floor. And then we were going to clear coat it and epoxy it just to kind of give it that everyday shine. Unfortunately, that work was covered, and that's okay. But just know for the next house, we will have the concrete slabs.
Oh, yeah.
So here we're going into Ethan's room. Well, what would have been Ethan's room.
It's been carpeted. Doors need to be cut. I can never figure out light switches.
So then this would be Ethan's room, and then they have decent sized closets. They're not huge, but they're decent.
Yeah.
And then as you can see there, that iron ore color. And in the camera, it looks black, and it does have a black tint to it. However, it's actually more in the gray families. It's just one of the deeper grays, and it only looks black because it's up against a light gray color.
The receptacle is black. You can tell the difference. Somebody got mud on the carpet already. So we'll go across. Well, we can stop here at the bathroom.
Yeah, we'll start with the bathroom. Again, it's not completely finished, but here is what the kids' bathroom was going to look like. We were gonna do it's just a single vanity, one sink. It was gonna have a couple drawers and some cabinets. But it was gonna be opposite of what our kitchen was. So our kitchen island was going to be a marbled white and black waterfall type style, basically meaning the countertop goes over the entire sides and it just looks like one big solid piece. That was gonna be the white and black. And then we were gonna have our bathrooms mirror that. So these were actually going to be like a black tile with white veining, and same with our bathroom as well. Again, she kind of vetoed the black, so we went a different route, and she liked the veining, but she wanted more of a gray. Truthfully, the way I know, if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking that looks awful. And again, they're not done, but like we were saying outside, there's a couple things that we've learned from doing this house that we're going to do differently in the future. And the tile and trim and flooring people are one of the steps that we're going to probably cut out and do something differently on our next property, just because I'm not personally happy with their work. Again, it's not my house, so it is what it is. The lady has been here multiple times. She checks it out on a daily basis, and she's okay with it, and that's fine. But there's just a couple things that really just, you can tell they kind of cut corners, and they didn't cut price, but they cut corners, and it made it to where did not make me happy. So all of this will be fixed and covered. The only thing too about the shower is, you guys may not notice it, but typically when you lay tile, you're supposed to offset it, almost kind of like brick, how it's just offset. And that's what we were expecting with this. And as you can see, it's just completely straight across. And then the little tile section here is just halfway done. They should have just, kind of started in the middle and worked their way out, and they didn't, and that's fine. They didn't ask for our opinion. But this would be the kids' bathroom at the time. I don't know. I guess she's just going to have a second bedroom. She's by herself. Her husband had passed, so she's by herself. So this is quite a big house for just one person. This was going to be Leggy's room. As you can see, the accent wall, she chose her colors. And that's one thing too that upset me initially is, when I had told Leggy that we were selling the house, it upset Leggy too. She cried a little bit just because she's put a lot of thought and effort into what she wanted her room to look like. And she's always told us, whenever we move, she wants to have a big girl room. She wants to have like a teenager room. And that's fine. I wanted to give her that. And she'll still get that at this next one. But I think she was just upset because she had already put a lot of thought and ideas into what she wanted her room to look like too. However, now the lady who is buying the house is a quilter, and she does sewing. So she said this was going to be her workroom, which is fine. It's a big enough room for that. Same size closet space. But again, it is what it is, and that's okay. So here's Leggy's room. And hers is not carpeted, but again, had we kept the house, this bedroom would have been carpeted as well. So then now we can go on back through the foyer. And then this is a linen closet. Ash has made this door because the story behind this door, it's a 16 by 80. It's actually an 18 by 80, but obviously when you do a door, you have to go in 2 inches. So this is a 16 by 80. And I don't really know why we didn't pick up on it when we found the floor plan. We didn't realize how small of an opening this was and how much of a bear it is to find a door to fit an opening this small. And we actually found a company in Pennsylvania. I don't remember their name, but they make all shapes and sizes custom doors. They could have made this door for us $700 with shipping and all. And I told Ash, I said, it's not worth $700 for a door. So he just built one at work, but he just made it look like the double paneling like these other doors look. It doesn't have a handle on it yet, but it will. But this is just going to be, it was going to be the kids' linen closet. I don't know. She may still use it for that, or she may use it to put her sewing stuff in. But that is that door. So this is another, custom touch that we're just having to get rid of because Ash put a lot of time into making this door. But it's okay. She had to have one. Now she does. And we're on to the next.
So we'll go into the master.
Now, basically, the whole left side of the house is going to be like the master area.
Yeah, there's a lot in here too. All right, so now you're in the master. Again, like Lakin said, black wall. Don't mind the door. I got to cut it down. Apparently, nobody knows how to cut a door down and put it back up, so I get to come up here and cut the doors down. So yeah, master, big 3 windows, which was another great thing. Which on the next house plan we're looking at, it has to have windows because the view, we have to be able to see the.
And you'll see that too. And that's one thing we are going to change with what we have now. The porch that we currently have is perfect. It's great for this house, but for our location across the street, because we do have a better view, we're going to extend our front or our back porch even longer so we can have like furniture and patio, things like that out there to enjoy the view. So that is one thing that we've learned that we are going to do differently also.
And again, guys, if you're seeing the video and you're looking at like the trim and stuff, you're like, none of this has been painted. The only colors in here are like first coat colors. So keep that in mind. Now you're walking
into the master bath. So this here is going to be a 7-foot vanity. It'll be a double vanity, his and hers. And then we had for our idea for what we were going to do for the house is we were going to do a really big 72-inch touchscreen LED mirror. So you touch the button, it's got different settings on it. That's what, you see here. This was going to be one huge mirror. And unfortunately, our realtor let that slip to her, and she loved the idea. So we still have to put it in here, even though that's not really what we wanted to do. We wanted to kind of keep some of the things that we, for our idea, for our next house, and not have the same, little things. But because it was already mentioned, we have to do it. So that's what's going to be here, is this really big LED touchscreen mirror. And again, the vanity topping was going to match the kids, the white and black. So then here you have your toilet, and which the toilet's not in here, but you would have your toilet in its own area. So then that way, there's no bulb in here. There's no bulb in here. That's what I was saying. So that way, if someone wanted to shower or wash up or, do things in the bathroom, you wouldn't have to wait until this person was done in the bathroom. You could still come in here and do what you need to do, shut the door, and it's separate from anything else in the bathroom. So I think that was also a really big selling point, which is really good for like us, for like husband and wife. When I want to come in and put my contacts in or do my makeup or, whatever the case may be, I don't have to wait for him to get done using the bathroom. I can just come in here and do my own thing, or vice versa. And then one of the really big selling points of this house is this shower. This was not part of the floor plan. We had changed and added this ourselves after we purchased the floor plan. This is 11 foot long and it's 9 foot tall. We do have 9 foot ceilings. Again, this scheme is not anything that we had imagined for this. This was all supposed to be black with black flooring. And, we had his and her shower heads, obviously Ash's. And then we had mine, and then where Ash is standing, we were also going to put a bench across this back wall. We were going to kind of put a bench here for me to sit on and shave my legs. And this was going to be, which it still is, it's going to be a handheld. So then while you're shaving your legs or whatever, you can pull that down to use. So again, she didn't like the black. That's fine. To me, I don't love this. It's too much white and they clash. But again, it's not my shower, so it doesn't matter. But this was a really big selling point of the house just because this was not included in the floor plan. This was actually just a typical bathtub and shower combo when we had purchased the floor plans.
That's going to get a little dark in here. But this is
our closet. We don't have lights in here yet.
We ain't figured out why there's no lights.
But that was one of the things too when we had talked about building a house, that we wanted a walk-in shower and we wanted a walk-in closet because I have more clothes obviously than Ash does, and that's fine, but I'm sharing a closet with my daughter and my husband, and then I also have some stuff in our son's closet too. So it just made more sense to have a big walk-in closet to where we could house all of our stuff. I also have a makeup vanity that Ash had got me for Christmas that we were going to put in here somewhere. And that way I would have my own space to get ready and do things. Just as of right now, I'm sitting on the floor in front of my mirror doing makeup. I just don't have room to do it. And I can do it in the bathroom like, typical normal people, but I like to sit and watch TV or catch up on my shows while I'm getting ready. So I just thought it would be more ideal to have my own little space away from everything to where it wasn't taking up the bedroom or the bathroom. So this is still going to be the closet, but now she's just got little racks going up here and there. We were going to do more of like the IKEA type style where you can do like the custom cabinetry where you can kind of like build your own shelving and towers and things like that to slide in here. So that's something that we're going to look forward to doing for our new one. Also, the floor plan that we're currently looking at for the new one, the closet is a lot bigger, which I love, but that's a surprise I don't want to give you too much about, but that's something to look forward to in our future videos.
Yeah, that'll work. We have to turn that light on in there because there's a few rooms in this house that don't have lights yet. I haven't figured it out exactly.
We don't really know why they didn't put all the lights in when they did.
This here is the laundry room and dog shower.
So initially here, we were going to do a stackable washer and dryer, which is why the plugins are sitting like that. We were going to do a stackable washer and dryer, and then all of this was going to be like a countertop with an upper cabinet. That way I could fold clothes in here, do things like that. Where Ash is standing is also going to be a sliding barn door to kind of separate the closet from all the other, or to kind of separate the laundry room from all the other. But then this right here I feel like is also a selling point. To each their own. If you have a dog, you would understand. If you don't, then you may not get it. But this was going to be a dog wash, and it still is. but again, it was designed for our dog, and it's dusty right now, so you can't really see the true color. But this is kind of what our shower was going to resemble, and then this is what the countertops in the bathrooms were going to resemble.
Now, granted, this tile still needs to go up.
Yeah, it does need to go up, and then here you've got your faucet, and then you've got your handheld that's going to go here too. One of the people who were initially looking at the house wanted it gone. They're like, if I buy it, I want it gone. Okay, that's fine. But luckily, the lady who bought the house, I think she said she has 2 Pomeranians, which again are smaller dogs. So all she's got to do is pick them up and throw them in there and give them a bath. And for her, she was really sold on this specifically, just because she said that she's never seen something like that in another house. So we also lifted it up a little bit higher so we could keep laundry baskets underneath, and then we could also keep Bella, our dog food and bowls and stuff underneath there. I don't know what she's going to do with it now, but then also Ash has built a little broom closet that's going to go here, and it goes all the way up, and it's just basically big enough to put like a broom, vacuum, mop, things like that in. This right here could also be used as to fill and dump out mop buckets. So even if you didn't have a dog, instead of leaning over the tub or getting your countertops in your kitchen all dirty, you could do something like this to kind of avoid the mess. Okay. And then here, if you go through here, you can see that we have another little foyer, little hallway. And this right here, again, there's no handles on it, but this right here would be the pantry. And Ash was going to put some shelving in here all the way through. And then I'll show you on this side, it's the same. But we were going to do shelving from the floor to the top. And that was just going to house like my toaster, my air fryer, my blender, my Ninja, everything that is taking up counter space in my kitchen, we were wanting to find a home for in this house, as the whole purpose of this house was to be more sleek and simple and modern. So we wanted everything on the counters to be put away. Whether she uses that for this or not, I don't know, and that's fine. But that's kind of where our idea was. And then initially, Ash had built, this was going to be like our coffee bar area. I just have a whole lot of different flavorings and coffees, and just in general, I just like coffee. So Ash has initially was going to build a cabinet here, and then an upper here, and then on the counter was actually going to be the flavorings and the coffee pot, things like that, and then the mugs would be up top. This could also be an area for, we have like a junk drawer or a junk cabinet where we keep Scentsies and lighters and bulbs. And you name it, just like an extra drawer that's a catch-all would have been something like this as well. The lady does not want the coffee bar. That's fine, but she still is going to do the regular cabinet, right?
Both lowers and uppers.
She's doing the upper and lower.
Yeah, they're going in. But she's just going to use it for a microwave.
Yeah.
It's going to be an extension of the kitchen, which it always was an extension of the kitchen.
But if you don't use it, it's just a dead space.
Yeah,
so it just makes sense to do something with it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was another thing that we kind of redesigned this whole area. This whole laundry room, pantry, this whole area was not.
There was actually like a mud room attached or something.
It was where the dog wash is. That was the door to the garage.
Mm-hmm.
But then there ended up, you would have had like 3 doors in that one room. So it came down to, if we can get rid of that door and then shut off the laundry room, which if you look, the door into the laundry room wasn't there either. Mm-hmm. It was just an opening. Mm-hmm. And we were like, I want to shut it off, because if like there's the dryers running under the washer, I don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. So we shut it off. And that's another thing we did. See how big the door is that's in there? It's big enough so you can roll washer and dryers right in and out without banging the doors. So that's another thing. And same
with if you were in a wheelchair, if you need a wider opening or crutches or whatever the case may be, you now have wider openings for this house.
So anyway.
So a lot has been changed. And again, it's something that y'all probably wouldn't see. But if you guys were able to look at the floor plans and compare it to what we have now, there is a lot of just custom changes that we have made that we're going to be fitting for us and our family. But as of right now, it's going to be fitting for her and when she has her kids over. So we'll just have to make changes to our new floor plan. So now let's go out here and look at the back porch real quick. There ain't nothing out here. The grass the dirt's still in a big pile from where they broke ground. But this just kind of gives you an idea. We have it blocked off because we don't have a handle on it just yet.
We're almost positive.
So these are just 2 French doors.
Sorry, guys.
that I liked
There we go.
for the living room area.
You're not putting it up.
Well, I know, but I can't get my finger in there. And then they both do open,
just pull
but
that
I think
one.
is it locked?
I don't think they ever locked it.
Do they not?
Did they? No.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it was locked.
Bottom one's locked too. Somebody actually did that?
No, I don't think the bottom ones are locked.
Pull the middle part. Yep, pull up.
I don't know.
It's all right, guys. It opens.
Anyways, it opens. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it back up, but it opens too. And then you come out here, and there will be steps here. They haven't been created yet, which I'm really not sure why they weren't when the concrete was poured, but that's fine. As you can see here, we kind of own into this tree line, and we actually own into the neighbor's yard too, across from this little
Not really.
telephone
You
pole
own to
here.
the telephone pole.
But it is what it is. So pretty big yard space. The lady, like she said, she does have dogs, so she's going to put a fence up so then her dogs have room to roam. But this would also be a nice area just to, as you can see, we've made our own little custom fire pit when we were initially burning wood from all the lumber and framing and things like that. So you could even make your own fire pit and put out here. But one thing we had talked about for the next house is see how this porch, I mean, it's a good size, but it's not big enough to sit and enjoy if you had a view. So what our next plan is for the next house, a porch is going to go all the way down to, if you remember where the dining room windows were, that's about how far down our next porch. Kind of where this bump out is about how far the next porch would go down. So, hey, look at this weeds, these grass. Look how tall they're getting.
Let's just hold on, guys. We're gonna just look at the shoes. Oh, I'm in the light. Look at those are funeral shoes right there.
These are my church
Those
shoes.
are my church shoes. All right.
We
So,
also own kind of up on this hill, just slightly out in this yard. Slightly up on this hill we own. So the yard space is a good sized yard for kids or dogs or, you know, whoever. Have a party out here, whatever you want to do. There's still a lot to do, but
we're whittling it away.
we're getting there.
Yep. Anyway. All right. Well, I tell you what, we got to go to a home store. You know, don't step back again.
No, I know. I feel it. I feel it on my heel.
That would actually make us famous. Well, I don't know. There might be a stick down there. I'd have to take you to the hospital. But anyway, so we're gonna go to a home store. I don't know if we're gonna work on cabinets tonight. We need to.
We're supposed to go eat with some friends. Just depends if he's able to get off work or not. But if not, I don't know what we'll do. You can't really work on them because you don't have them built.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I do. I have drawer guides and all that stuff. I can do a lot, but I can do all that this week too.
You also have to go get Sissy at some point too.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Sissy here in a little bit. So, anyway, just wanted to kind of update y'all on what's going on with the house
And share where all of our time goes. When we tell you we're at the new house working, this is where all of our time has been.
Yeah.
And we'll bring you along for the next journey as well, so you can kind of stay and follow along with that one too.
And if you're building a house, guys, and you need anything, people, or you need somebody to do something, let us know. We can point you in the direction of who not to get and who to get.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, alrighty.
Now get out.
Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel.
All right, babe.
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's down the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, there it is. Huh? Yep,
So
she's.
this is our front porch, but then this.